I was diagnosed on Valentine's Day of 2018. Every morning I would get sick. I had no balance, really.
It was the summer of 2017, and June fell ill, and we just thought it was a summer virus. Within 48 hours, she went into septic shock. We rushed her to the ER, and then she slipped into about a 2.5-week coma.
I knew Evie had cerebral palsy when I adopted her, and that was the only diagnosis that I knew that Evie had.
It was around January that Abigail started to vomit really intermittently. And then finally, in the middle of March, she wouldn't stop vomiting. So I ended up taking her into the emergency room. She had a tumor the size of a golf ball that was blocking the fluid from going back and forth between her spinal cord and her brain.
5 years ago now, January 24th, 2020, I was playing Xbox with my two best friends. We had firearms in the house. I knew where we kept them, so I went to my parents' room, grabbed a revolver out of my mom's nightstand. Pretty sure I was playing Russian roulette, and I put it to my head. Accidental gunshot wound to the head.
My diagnosis was a medulloblastoma. I was taken to Big Barnes, and then 2 days later, I had an emergency craniotomy. They transferred me to Children's because the tumor I had is mostly pediatric. And then I had 6 weeks of proton therapy, and then I had 9 rounds of chemo.
We were in the PICU and just had to take it day by day, and nearing the end of 2 weeks, figured out that it was Kawasaki shock. As she emerged from the coma, we basically had to start over. She couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. We don't even know if she could see.
It would have been like in February of 2018 that we started kind of our journey at Children's. It was the first time I've ever heard about SDR surgery. And so I adopted her at the end of October of 2017, and she had surgery in May of 2018. Within a year, not only did Evie have cerebral palsy, I found out she was deaf, and Evie was also diagnosed with epilepsy.
She had a pilocytic astrocytoma. They think it was present since birth. It was a very slow-growing tumor. She didn't need any chemo or radiation post-surgery because he really was able to go in and get all of the tumor. She did lose all ability to do anything. And that really was a moment that I think my husband and I were panicked. And the entire time, everyone was assuring us that this wasn't it, that we have so many things ahead of us.
So I was admitted to Children's. I had Dr. McAvoy. He had to do a craniectomy to allow brain swelling. I had multiple strokes after the initial injury, a pseudo-aneurysm where I had to be transferred over to Big Barnes. Dr. Chatterjee had to go in through my thigh and put a coil in my brain to stop the bleeding, which induced another stroke.
On May 4th of 2019, I was declared basically cancer-free.
We still see a neurologist on an annual basis. She has an aneurysm in one of the arteries of her heart. Children's never gave up on our kid. They came in every day with the same drive and the same hope that we would want out of a team to try to help to get her back to where she needed to be.
Last year, when she had a hemispherectomy, which is disconnecting half of her brain, it's been life-changing for Evie. She's gaining vocab like she's never gained before. It'll be a lifelong journey for Evie to need to follow neurology. The seizures are so much better, and they're very infrequent, and so we just continue to monitor and see what happens.
So I just recently had my last follow-up with my neurosurgeon, Dr. McAvoy. January of 2023, I had to have a full spinal fusion because I had neuromuscular scoliosis from the injury. So I'll be seeing Dr. Kelly until I think I'm 22 or 24.
Just the therapies that we received on that neuro floor, from music therapy, occupational, physical, speech therapy, all of it was just so incredible. And it was amazing seeing the progression day to day to day. They wanted us to be able to witness it in person.
I loved seeing Dr. Limbrick all the time and see all like my music therapists and like my speech therapists. If it weren't for Dr. Limbrick, my life could look a lot different than it does today.
St. Louis Children's Hospital comforted me. I did art therapy, which was so nice. It was like a break from everything else. I actually am slowly working towards getting my own art therapy degree so I can help other kids.
She's playing sports, she's running around, she's able to navigate her environment seamlessly. She pretty much operates like a typical kid. I think we just felt like if we needed whatever type of care it is, that Children's was here in our backyard, ready to support her in whatever way we needed moving forward.
I don't know where Evie would be without St. Louis Children's Hospital. Evie is thriving and she is loving life and she's learning at school. And so Children's has definitely changed her life for the better.
I've seen so many different specialties from all the issues I had, but so they really set me up for success from the beginning. It really means a lot to everybody that all these services are able to be provided through the hospital, because without it, kids wouldn't be able to make it as far as they do.
We all drive down Kings Highway and look at this hospital and think, I'm glad my kid's not there. And that's how I thought. And now I look at it so differently. It's the place that saved my child's life. And I don't know where we would be without them.